Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment. I only have one question.
Are you ready?
It's Friday, Viking fans, and you know that it's time for The Road to Victory. The Road to Victory is brought to you by Ibid Electric Company, Schrader Tree Farms, and Peerless.
Good. All right. Welcome back to another episode of the Viking Huddle. I'm your host, Trent Scott, here with my guests, Coach Shaw and Mr. Brawley. But before I get into that, the Viking Huddle is powered by Ibid Electric Company, so thank you to the fine people at Ibid for sponsoring our show. Another sponsor is Ted Schrader and Schrader Tree Farms, David Shire and Peerless. And again, if you would like to sponsor throughout the year, please reach out to Mr. Cornelius at dustin.cornelius@nileschools.org. And, of course, make sure to like and subscribe and share. Help this podcast grow. This week in Niles Athletics, I couldn't really remember. So there's so many events this week. I couldn't find us for Monday. You remember anything from Monday, Mr. Brawley?
It's been a busy week, and Monday was the only day we didn't host an event. So
Nothing.
We had a couple teams on the road. I can't remember off the top of the head who was on the road. Soccer was on the road, I think, and some golf maybe.
Golf. And anything Tuesday happened?
Oh.
And middle school played Tuesday.
Middle school played Tuesday. They did a nice job. They swept Edwardsburg, 14-6 and like 28-14 or something like that. But the 8th grade class is pretty athletic and pretty impressive.
It's good. Then of course Wednesday, which was yesterday, soccer lost to Sturgis 4-1, and I don't know how tennis. I think tennis performed.
Tennis lost 2-6.
2-6. So we got that. Today is Thursday, but you'll be listening to this on a Friday. Today we have JV at Harper Creek. JV football's at Harper Creek now. Freshman is at Otsego. And, of course, here at the high school we have volleyball playing Otsego. So it was a busy week in Niles Athletics.
Kathy figured out how to link everything to my phone now. Wednesday was insane.
It was insane.
It was like 2 pages of events.
But so we're going to get into it. It's technically game day for the listeners. So, Mr. Brawley, we'll start off with you. From your perspective, what are some key takeaways from the past 3 weeks of these football season?
Oh, well, I've seen, anytime you could beat St. Joe and Lakeshore in the same year, let alone back-to-back and at their Lakeshore for the first time ever.
Right.
I don't think right now we're playing our best football. But
right.
We're 3-0. We're not going to give it back, are we, Coach?
We're not. Nope.
Every win at the end of the game, Shaw and I don't know if Shaw has the best one-liners I've ever heard. He said, I think it was like our first year. He said, we don't have to give that one back, do we? Yeah. So since then, we've continued to do the same trend.
Right. And then we played St. Joe, Lakeshore, and Paw Paw. From your perspective as an athletic director, what has been the best game so far that you watched from the past 3 weeks?
Depends on what you're looking for. As far as ball control, I think, the St. Joe game, we did a nice job. We turned the ball over. Then the Lakeshore and Paw Paw, we got a little sloppy with the ball a little bit. But, for the most part, we're still, Shaw's still doing what he does, dominating.
Right.
The Lakeshore game, the score was 16-0, but anybody who was at that game, that was we punched them in the mouth pretty good. I think it was 350 yards to 18 or something like that.
Well, you're heading into your 5th year here.
This is my 5th year.
This is your 5th year here. So you got to see a whole bunch of athletes come out through the school. Who has been the best athlete that you've seen
in the last 5 years?
In the last 5 years,
ever.
We'll go for the last 5 years first.
Ooh, that's a tough one. You're putting me in a spot where I'm going to upset somebody. But, as far as the pure athlete, obviously, Rucker's got to be up there. Paul Hesse has to be up there. Alex Cole, Talon Brawley, Juju. Those were some very, very good athletes. But my definition of who can do everything,
Yeah.
I have a hard time arguing with Brennan Olson. I know, it's pretty darn good. I don't know there's much he can't do.
But
I think, we don't have a men's volleyball team. We'd probably be pretty good at that one, too.
yeah, you never know. You never know. But heading into the future for this, we're approaching midseason here in football in Michigan. What are some kinks that the team needs to fix on for the future?
I'm an athletic director, not a coach.
Right.
But, that's their job. Things that obviously you never want to lose a turnover ratio.
Right.
Just ball control, I think, is the biggest thing but I'm not the guru when it comes to that. That's these guys.
Well, we'll ask Shaw that right now. There you go. Here we go. Shaw's on the mic. So they're kind of repeating questions what we asked Mr. Brawley. So from your perspective as a coach and watching us play, what are some key takeaways from the past 3 weeks?
Well, I think number one, we're a different team than we were last year.
Yeah.
We're going to win in a different way than we did last year. Last year, we were a little bit more, I think I used to Matt the other day, we were sudden last year. We could make things happen like right now. Right. We have that suddenness. Alex showed a little bit of that last week when he broke away, but we're a different team with a different methodology. Now our drives are going to take a little bit longer. We're going to do some things with you guys up front. And probably the best thing for me has been the way we played in our first half. We've been St. Joe, we played an excellent second half.
Right.
Lakeshore, we played a really good second half.
Right.
Paw Paw, we played a really good second half and put the games away in the second half. So we're letting people hang around, but we're I guess savvy enough to realize after we sit down and take a deep breath that we need to go out and perform a little bit better in the second half. Now we don't have to wait against Otsego. We can get after those guys right away if we could.
Right.
I think going back to the second half at the Paw Paw game, I don't know if you heard this. There's some fan, I have no idea who they were, is just screaming at the top of their lungs in the second half. And I'm like, what is this guy saying? Are they going to attack the field? He was saying, great halftime speech, coach. Someone was just screaming at you, saying great halftime speech.
And, of course, we played St. Joe, Lakeshore, Paw Paw. From your perspective, what was the best performing game that the team has played?
In those 3 games?
In those 3 games.
Well, and again, I think we played as a team. We're not relying on one individual. I think everybody offensively and defensively. I would say that defensively, we've been kind of a surprise.
Right.
We've been pretty good about limiting at least scores and things. So our pass defense is better. I think we're pretty good up front. We could still get better on the offensive and defensive lines, but we're 3-0, and I think Matt and I sat down a couple weeks ago and said the last time we were 3-0 was at some date. Last time we were 4-0 was in the 80s, and
my uncles were in
79,
79, I think. So
79.
We've got a chance. We're still making history. We're still making good things happen here. So I'm pretty happy that. With the guys we got playing and their attitude and now it's not new anymore to some guys who played their first game against St. Joe, but we've got some experience now, so hopefully we'll settle down and finish out strong.
Right. And of course, you already said some strengths like our defense has came out strong. Was surprising. Is there any other strengths that we have from this midseason?
Well, I think being able to compensate with depth. I know our Shane Barber went down in our first game, and we've been able to put Bryce Young in there at center. He's never really played center.
Right.
But he snaps well, and he's reliable, and he works hard. So, our depth on the offensive line is we're not really deep, but we're able to move parts.
Right.
As well as we are on defense. So, the defensive line. So, I just think that our team, they go out with we're not, as we're not loud or obnoxiously enthusiastic.
Right.
It's kind of like we go out and it's a business trip and we're taking care of business.
Yeah. And you kind of mentioned some weaknesses, but what are some weaknesses that you experienced with the team so far?
Well, you know, I don't know if I'd call them weaknesses or growing pains, but, you know, I think some growing pains, you know, Will at quarterback, you know, let's face it, a kid that his last game was in 8th grade last year has to line up against St. Joe in the first game. His very next game
ever.
First varsity game
pretty
ever.
Impressive.
So, you know, he's learning, and everything's new to him. So, you know, and he's done a great job of pulling things together, and you know, and I always tell Will that you don't have to win a game, you just can't lose it. Right. And that means landing on the ground and doing some things. So, you know, he's learning that. You know, we got other guys. You know, Alex is coming to life now. Elijah's coming to life. We got like people like Guy Torres that his first game that really starting was against St. Joe.
Right.
Your first game starting really was against St. Joe. And you know, we got guys like that across the board. So you know, and that's what a team does. That's what a program does, is that you don't really rebuild. You just plug in a new person who's been through it all. Right. You know, even last year, and I have to commend you for this, you know, when you were hurt, you came to every practice, you sat there and you were part of it and watched what was going on. So you weren't totally, you took those mental reps, which is what you needed to do.
Yeah. And it's probably going to be a little bit of a difficult question to answer, but who has stood out to you the most this part of the season?
Well, you know, I think that Chase Brawley has had a great year so far.
Yeah.
Max is playing well because he's going both ways. And, you know, I hate to cite individuals because we're still only in week 4.
Right.
But, you know, Ward Cheney has, you know, just continued where he left off last year.
Yeah.
In things. And, you know, we've got people that understand the expectations now. And, you know, and I think that's the best part when, you know, 5 years ago, those expectations weren't as great as they are now. And, you know, we're sitting here at 3-0 and going to be 4-0, hopefully. And, you know, we're talking about making a playoff run but we do it in a weekly basis.
Way, yeah.
You know, we say we want to win this week. We want to win this week. And then earn another Monday once the playoffs start. So, but I think that, you know, to point out individuals, you know, this is a game that's played with 11. Yeah, you know, and inevitably, when we make a mistake on defense, when a player makes a mistake on defense, that's where the ball goes. When we miss a block on offense, that's where the tackle comes from. So, you know, that's the great thing about this game is that not one person, you know, one person can help determine the outcome of a game, but they can't do it by themselves.
Right.
How about Walsh's performance at fullback?
Oh, Brandon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both of our fullbacks.
Yeah, Elijah. But at what was it, the St. Joe game when he was tackled right at the line of scrimmage?
Yeah.
And the cab.
Yeah.
He keeps spinning. He's got a touchdown.
Yeah. And both are, you know, that's kind of a fastball, curveball type thing. You know, with Elijah runs hard, but there's not much lead in his pencil.
Right.
Brandon runs a little bit different, and you know, we get the best out of both of them that way. So
Yeah, very, very proud of Elijah.
Yeah. So like we keep mentioning, we're 3-0, 5th in the state. Beat Lakeshore at Lakeshore for the first time ever, and we beat St. Joe and Lakeshore both back-to-back ever in the same year. What does this senior leadership help develop this team throughout the year, since summer to now?
Well, I think the senior leadership had excellent examples throughout the past.
Right.
You know, I think Juju was a great leader. Juju was one of those rah-rah leaders that people rallied around and they followed.
Right.
Last year's leaders were guys that had been in the program for, you know, 4 years, 3 years, and all that kind of stuff. This year's leaders have been guys that have continued to do that, probably on a quieter basis because they've always had other people to do it. This year it's more lead by example than lead by, you know, to vocalize those type of things. But, you know, the leadership has been good. Our attendance in The summer was very good. Our attendance at practice has been pretty good. We've not really had guys have to go to that study hall much. So, the message that we all are throwing out there is being received, and I think that's a positive thing for our program.
Right. And then speaking of our program, you be seeing our middle school teams and our Rocket football teams running the same exact offense and plays as what us as varsity JV and them do. What is it like seeing that in the culture you developed from the youth leagues up to now?
Well, and again, that goes back to the definition of a program.
Right.
A program is something that you instill at the top, and it filters down all the way to the bottom, and that can only help us in the future. That those guys, even down to Rocket, are running our stuff or attempting to run our stuff.
Right.
And the middle schools are the middle school teams they've got great numbers, they've got good athletes, and they're learning what we do. So next year won't be a total mystery to them when they come across the street.
Right. And then you're a Hall of Fame coach here in Michigan. You've been to a few different schools, but once you came here at Niles, you always said this community has been different than any other school you've been to. How's it feel to have the community behind your back supporting you and your team?
Well, it's great. I mean, the Three Rivers, and I always got to go back to Three Rivers because they, my memories there are very fond of those kids. They're the same type of memories I have, or that we're making here.
Right.
It's very community oriented. It's very school oriented. It's very supportive of kids and athletes and things like that. And it means a lot here because when we came in 5 years ago and we said we're gonna do this and this and this and this, those kids who were there at that point bought into it.
Right.
And they went from a 1-win season the previous season to at least five there and just barely missing the playoffs.
By what, half a point?
Yeah, it was really close. So they bought in, and then everybody has bought in since. And I would, to be really honest, I wasn't really sure how running an offense where you don't throw a lot was going to be met by people, but scoring is what everybody wants to do. Yeah. Winning, I think, is what everybody wants to do.
Okay, how you get there? So,
as long as we're pretty good at what we do. We're good at what we run offensively and defensively. And anybody that says it's not entertaining just doesn't understand, I think, football. Right. When you're ripping off 5 and 6 yards at a time, there's not many people do that.
Right. What was it? The Lakeshore game? We were averaging 8 yards a carry.
Yeah.
This year?
The Lakeshore game.
Oh,
you were there, Trenton.
Oh,
were you? Was that one of your good games or bad games?
That was my best game this year.
Really
Lakeshore was my best game. So it's a little hatred there, but speaking of me though, Coach Shaw, you coached a lot of kids throughout your years. You helped motivate them, all that. I've been playing for you for. Well, it's my third year playing for you. So, Coach, what's some things I need to improve on for this game tomorrow?
Oh, my turn. How much time you get? No, you've made great strides. You've gotten a lot stronger. You've been in the weight room. You've improved there. Just your footwork has improved, and as you get older, things get not necessarily easier, but more clear about what you got to do.
Right.
And, we just got to keep knocking people off the ball and let those guys behind you, gather in some yards and, move the ball down the field. So, I'm real happy with the way you came back after last year, and I'm real happy with what you've done so far. And it's just like this. We're always in search of the perfect game, right?
Right.
We're never going to find it, but we can get closer to it every week out.
Right. That's true. That's really all I got today. Mr. Brawley, any athletic events coming up?
Tomorrow, Friday.
Just
we got
Friday?
volleyball today, but you're going to hear that tomorrow.
Right.
So we'll have the score prediction tomorrow.
Right. So no athletic booster things coming up?
With just December, I think it's 6th, the karaoke night.
The karaoke
night. That ought to be a fun time.
Fun one.
I got my outfit. We're ready to rock and roll.
Oh boy,
Dustin, and I don't know. You guys know how musically gifted Dustin is?
playing the instrument.
Playing or singing.
Oh, I haven't heard him sing
He
yet.
does a phenomenal job. So, but yeah, that's going to be a fun one. And then we got the St. Patrick's Day party in March, and then the golf outing again.
Oh,
But I
whole
want to
cycle.
go back to the one question you asked me about the best athletes
Okay.
in the last 5 years.
Okay.
And there's one, obviously Lonnie Jones is one of the best football players.
Right.
But Chase Quinn's dad, Clifton Quinn, was an amazing football player and an amazing athlete. He was part of the Final Four team. Was a preferred walk-on at Michigan State. He gets overlooked a lot, and he was a heck of an athlete. So I was thinking about that last night when I had those questions.
And that's all. It goes back to that. To be a good athlete, you just got to be somebody that does their job
Right.
and does it well. And there's a lot of those
Yeah.
kids. A lot of those kids. Sometimes they're flashy. We like to think a kid that runs for 3,000 yards is a good athlete, but they got to have people that move folks along the way.
Right. Yeah.
And it's just. I guess it's your interpretation of what a great athlete really is. I mean, and it's just, I'm sure there have been a lot of them here. So, good coaches, too.
Good coaches, good athletes. It makes things easy at my end. But the other one is David Gardner.
Oh, yeah.
He was. They wanted him to play at Michigan State for football. He went and played baseball and ended up AAA with the Cubs. So you got to throw him in there too.
You gotta throw.
Can I tell you this, though, Trenton?
Oh, go ahead.
Athletes play every season. Or at least they're doing something every season.
And every one of those kids I mentioned played multiple sports.
Right.
And I'd tell this to any of the parents, anybody out there listening. If you have an athletic kid, son or daughter, play everything you can. It's only going to make you better in all your other sports. It's so frustrating from our end to see people play one thing. Why would you only want to do one thing?
Right.
But to each his own. But I was talking to our baseball coach, his former player, went to Western. The Boston Red Sox are looking at him. He has to fill out a questionnaire.
Right.
It was all about his athleticism. And baseball is a harder sport to show your athleticism unless a ball is actually hit to you. But basketball, football, volleyball, you can show your athleticism in all these other sports. I had a football player at Cass. The Seattle Mariners were interested in him. And he was a heck of an athlete and had a really bad game, had a really bad attitude, threw his helmet. Guess what?
Seattle was gone.
The Mariners were gone. And when they came to watch him at a football game, not at a baseball game, they came to watch him at a football game. So it doesn't matter where you are, what you're playing. There is always somebody watching.
Right.
And whether it's for the sport you actually want to play at the next level or not, or even a job opportunity.
Right, because your attitude is going to show through no matter what sport.
Right.
If you're a leader in football, you're also going to be a leader in basketball if you're there, or you're going to want to be. And I've had that same thing. I had sent a kid to Michigan long ago, and it's a football kid. He was 6'8", but they came to 3 basketball games to see how physical he was, to see how he ran up and down the court, and took plays off in basketball. So, that's you're always available to people that in other words, there's always eyes on you.
Right.
So. Yeah. And back in my day, there was always eyes on you, but not like you guys, because you guys have the social media platforms that are incredibly good and incredibly bad, depending on how you use it.
Revealing.
Yes. Great word, Coach. Thanks.
You heard it. So back in the day, how'd you get recruited? You just gotta send a mixtape of your.
No, coaches came to games. You went to, you played in the AAU circuit in the summer, or you played Legion baseball, football, they came to games.
Yeah. And in football, at that point, when you're depends what time period you're talking, because I've lived through all these, the reel-to-reel stuff. They wanted to see your films, but that's when they came. The VHS, when we had only VHS that we do things on, we'd just make copies of VHS tapes and send off the whole game. Now, that was probably good and bad, because they could see you, how you blocked when the play went away from you. They could see you how you pass block. They saw every play.
Right.
Today, these guys send their highlight film in, and it's, everybody looks good.
Right.
And so I don't know how they pick and choose now.
Right.
But attitude is probably one or two. I mean, ability, then you got attitude. So attitude's always going to be right at the top.
The measurables too. We're finding out with some of our, if you meet measurables, they like you. If you don't meet measurables,
goodbye.
Yeah. So, but
that's really it. Well, thank you guys. Actually, number one, I want to thank both of you for what you guys do for this community. For Coach Shaw, Mr. Brawley, what you guys do. Wonderful.
Can you imagine what this guy has done in 5 years?
It's crazy. We were just talking about it the other day during team defense, where like he came into this program not knowing what he was getting into, really.
No, he had a clue. He did his research, but not knowing what kind of athletes
we have.
Yes.
So
I can't thank him enough for what I've been to so many different clinics, or I don't even know what the word. It's called clinics, or where we go. I cannot tell you how many administrators or how many higher ups that will go to a Berrien County meeting, or you'll go to a meeting up at Lansing.
Right.
Your school goes how the football team goes.
Yeah.
Football team wins, you're going to have a good year. And so we've had 5 good years, Coach. Right. So I really appreciate it.
And people around the state now know us.
Yeah.
I mean, they know us as a good school, but we put out good kids, we put out good teams. So,
right.
And that's a great testament to the type of kids that we have here.
Yeah,
they're willing to do what it takes.
Tough kids.
Yep.
And it was our trainer Katie. She was at a wedding this weekend, at the Paw game.
Yeah,
and it's amazing how you guys got even tougher. There was no injuries on Friday when there's no trainer
it's
there.
Magically gone.
Yeah.
But again, thank you guys for what you do. Thank you for joining the podcast today. Knock on wood, we win tomorrow. Got to
today.
Today we win today. Keep the Wolverine conference streak going, which I believe is 17 games, 18.
17. I think it's 18 now.
18.
I know this has been said before, Coach. How many years have you been in the Wolverine conference at either Three Rivers and here? So
I think it's 24, maybe.
How many times have you won it?
22 or 21, maybe. So
pretty impressive.
It's impressive. But again, thank you to our sponsors, Emmett Electric Company, Ted Schrader Tree Farms, and Dave Shire with Peerless. Again, like, subscribe, share, make this podcast and show grow. If you attend the game today, pick up your trash. We do a good job of picking up trash.
Rocket football night.
Oh, and it's Rocket football night. So we're celebrating the Rocket football players. It is white out. The theme is white out. So
and Rocket football players, if you wear your jersey, players only, not parents, not siblings, not anybody else. The player gets in free. The parents and everybody else will have to pay, unfortunately.
Well, the money goes to a good cause.
It goes right back in our program, right back.
That's
in the
right back to us. Helps us out.
Been very, very fortunate to have some very, very good gates lately. That Portland game is still. I've never seen this place so packed.
Yeah,
and the St. Joe game was
was
quite a lot of people.
Right. But reminder, make some noise, and of always go Vikes.
Ready, break.